Hello. Welcome to my Morrowind Let's Play. I will be playing through the video here. I always maybe I'm OCD about it, but I like to see it, It's nice to have the introduction to the story. It's just kind of soothing. I've been playing this game, gosh, almost since it came out. It's been almost 20 years. It's nice, Put it down for a few years, pick it up again, I've been picking up again big time lately, so just thought I'd create a character and share the story with all of you. However many of you actually see this thing. It's just something I'm going to do anyway. Might as well put it out there. Kind of an unusual situation for a Let's Play. I'm not saying all of this live. Rather, I'm pre-recording the gameplay and speaking out to a little dictaphone type of thing.
Why are you shaking?
Are
you okay?
Sweet, soothing voice of Jip. And however many characters I start, for whatever reason,
stand up.
I forgot the kind of abs this guy has. Look at this guy.
What's your name?
What's my name? Well, I thought of a funny name for the first orc I'm ever going to play after all this time. Bugbag gro-Durzog. Sounds orky. Gro, I'm pretty sure, means son of, Gra, daughter of. So, Durzog, well, we'll meet those eventually. Bugbag, name explains itself. I want him to be the friendliest orcish camping enthusiast you ever meet. Yeah. And I do like to take my time here a little, just because, then the ship goes. One thing that I didn't really pay attention to before, but I swear those have got to be like Colovian fur boots or something. I'll have to see if I can find those. Are they exclusive only to the ship, or what? Now, even though I don't plan on stealing a lot with this character, I figured, I'll just run around, see if I can. I know I don't have an inventory yet. Yeah. And then away we go. And yep. Yeah, there he is with the fur boots. Yes, the census office.
You finally arrived.
Now, most of the time, I play Telvanni characters of various descriptions, usually Dark Elf. Breton, High Elf, actually I had a High Elf go pretty far. I have another Breton character that I'll show off one of these days. It's funny because I kind of messed up with MGXE on that install. Here I'm going to take my time a little. I like his mutton chops, so I'm going to stick with the mutton chops. Even though I want to see all the hairdos, trying to pick like a friendly looking orc, and they don't give very many options for that. So yeah, that guy kind of looked promising. The face tattoos are pretty cool, but somehow it didn't quite fit. Or did it? I forget which one I went with. Hardly ever look at my own character, Used to playing in first person. Yeah. Yep, there we go with a little chin beard.
You'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Good old Sadony.
Head on in.
I always wait to hear him say that. There we go. And as you may notice in the lower left, I'm using the Ashfall camping survival needs mod. When I first started playing, it incorporates a lot of things in terms of being wet, being hungry, being tired. Stuff that I thought, maybe I was a little oversold on the Game Informer article. That would be in the game in the first place. So I was kind of surprised that my guy didn't need to eat all this time. Now I do, now that I have Ashfall. Now I pre-planned this character in advance. He's a guy very enthusiastic about the Empire. Bugbag is. Spell Sword, in the class description, has that it's a class based around, being support for Imperial Legionnaires, other soldiering groups, freelance adventurers as well, of course. You'll notice the stats, because I'm hydrated, well-fed, well-rested. I start off with little boost to stats, and you'll get little buffs and debuffs, depending on how hungry, or well rested or thirsty your guys. It's important to stay hydrated, just like in real life now. Yeah, very favorable stats. Really liking his willpower. I figure I'll just take a little time to think, do I really want to, do this? Why is survival, for example, a skill, that comes with the Ashfall mod not available for making a starting class? Now there is fletching. I have a fletching mod installed, even though actually this is the first time in a long time that I'm using a character that doesn't have marksman. It's the first time in a long time I'm using destruction instead. I do love battle mages. They have destruction, of course, but it's not generally how I do things. I tend to use magic as more of like a utility sort of thing. And now again, I'm trying not to steal stuff. I can't really justify from an RP perspective taking the limeware platter, so I'm not going to. Instead, I'm just going to move on, and then I thought, I'm just going to take the dagger and go, take whatever, just the bare minimum is, just to get through the tutorial, even though I probably don't even need to get through the tutorial. I should try next time not taking the dagger. Because you need the scroll to get your inventory. Wonder if I just walked out of here and never took anything. Now I swear that, sneaking and facing a certain way, maybe it's just some kind of superstition, but I swear that makes lockpicking easier. And switch back out to the dagger. Now one thing, okay, so I did get out of sneak mode, but one thing that's going to bite me a couple times is forgetting that in the code patch I turned on toggle sneak. Now Bugbag is not supposed to be a sneaky character, even though he is taking a lot of food and all the silverware here. But, he's new here, new release. He doesn't know if he's going to get any gold, he's just trying to survive, so he sees all this silver, nobody about, some bread, that'll help on the road. Gonna be spending a lot of time on the road with this character. Plan on doing basically the Let's Play equivalent of slow television to the extent possible. Walk, wherever I'm going to walk. One thing that Ashfall lets you do, even though I'm not going to be doing this all the time because, I just kind of do want to keep a fair pace on questing, and getting things done, and getting from A to B, is you can rest in real time. You can lay your character down on the bedroll, have it happen in real time or an accelerated speed, and it'll give you the same benefits as sleeping. You also notice sort of little status bars next to a lot of the food items. Those are things that need cooked, or you gotta get food poisoning. Your character, will get food poisoning. So, I will try to avoid that. It's nice to just take some time to, cook some mushrooms, some quam eggs or something. Be doing that a lot. Might as well take all. You're gonna need stuff. You see those containers also have their own status bars. They have capacity for carrying water, tea, as we'll see in a bit when we start making tea in a while. And then now I just decided, to take everything that's not nailed down. Just because, hey, that's money. Paper, actually. I forget if it's the code patch, or I did patch for Purists rather than patch project. But paper weighs 1/10 of what it used to. And it's still worth money. I decided to sneak at one point just kind of for RP reasons. Yeah, you see there. And then, I'll just take everything that's not nailed down because I didn't take the limeware platter. I might not steal in plain sight, but, when I'm not, I need the money, I just will just go for it. But I'm still in sneak mode, and I forget that. So here's one of a few times where it's like, let's hope he doesn't notice, and get out of sneak mode, and it appears he didn't notice. So let's just have our normal conversation, get through all the topics. Yeah, Euro Septim, the Empire. Yeah. So, a little more Bugbag story. He was in the Legion, So he's happy to see fellow legionnaires. He fell asleep on the job, and instead of just getting a few days in jail, he was hauled off to the Imperial City. He's not sure why. He thinks it's a little harsh just for falling asleep at his post. And then, after a little while in the Imperial City, he was shipped off to Morrowind, and he has no idea what's going on. So maybe they need him out here. He's just trying to find his way back into the Legion and see what he can do to help, advance the glorious empire.
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
Yeah, good old Fargoth. Yes, I found it here. Take it, because I'm going to need that help from Aura. I'm going to be doing... I'm trying not to do stuff without a character knowledge. It's hard not to. Now that I'm finally starting to RP again. Especially for the purposes of a Let's Play. But, oh yeah, and the publicans now can give you water or food. That's a nice benefit, but yeah. One of the other things the code patch did that I like, and that I'm looking forward to, is that, you get that teensy disposition boost from a successful trade. But it's very easy to have an unsuccessful trade, so that's why I'm also happy about the mercantile fix. So I won't be haggling near as much as I used to. I don't have to anymore, after all. I'll keep the fork, I'll keep the knife, I'll keep all... I'll sell all but one plate. I got to evaluate, okay, what's the best water container? In terms of weight versus how much it can carry. Sell the silver, sell the pewter, I don't need the basket. Sell the dagger, my guy doesn't have short blade. A spell sword, after all. So, medium armor, and the spell sword class, even though I'm taking it for RP reasons, does something I don't like, and that has the armor skill, the only armor skill, as a minor skill. And so that puts me at a considerable disadvantage at the outset. But medium armor is endurance based. Heavy armor, spear, and survival, the new Ashfall skill, are endurance based, so does make training a bit less cumbersome and expensive. So yeah, they have an Imperial themed tent. Really looking forward to getting that, because I'll be spending a lot of time in the tent, on the road. Get to fly the flag a little. Let's see, so not a lot of money, and not a lot of room to haggle either. It's very difficult negotiating. So yeah, so I've got either the Nordic Ring Mail Cuirass or more armor rating, believe it or not, from the Imperial Chain. A little more value, but you get what you pay for at this stage. Get the medium helm too. Gotta protect your neck. Yeah, and I'm gonna need a sword. So 21 for the armor, not too shabby. So the bowl, don't need that. Cup. The flask, I think I'll keep, just because relatively low weight for capacity, whereas the bottles don't hold that much more, but they weigh more. They weigh 33% more for what, like 12% more capacity? Yeah. So here I am trying to be a little daring with the haggling. But I'm going to need a sword. What can I do? Where's a good sword? I know where a good axe is. And a wood axe also would come in handy too, because I didn't know how easy it would be to find firewood at this stage. Yeah. The saber might be a good way to go, or the long sword. Well, let's compare things. The saber weighs a bit less, does about as much damage. In fact, just as much damage. I think I'll go with the saber. Be a bit more dashing. I also want to get a shield. Spell swords can use block, so sword and shield. Block, I think, actually is my highest skill right now. At 40, starting with an orc and a spell sword, so I really will want to take advantage of that and stick to one-handed swords whenever possible. But no medium shields, so gotta go with the iron. A lot of Legion armor, and this can be in character knowledge, he was a Legionnaire, is heavy armor. So, let's see. Do I need the bowls? No. So anyway, so using an iron shield and stuff like that, you know, it does give me the opportunity to beef up the heavy armor just a teensy bit before I have to start wearing those uniforms. For some reason, I'm keeping the bowl, selling the plate. I do wind up switching that out later. But the bowl, you know, yeah, just for RP value. Yep. Back to staying hydrated. So, how much do I have left? 2. I'm not gonna sell something with water in, because I expect you don't get extra for it. Come on. Shield. Looking good. No boots, alas. Not gonna get boots for a little while. But yeah, look at those skills. I'm still trying to find the, what do you call it? Survival and fletching skills at this stage. Let's see if I can't afford a backpack or something, you know, just any more armor. Just to try and help myself out. I've got an AR-4. Jeez Louise. Fair amount of food. Rugs. I'm very pleased you can get rugs. You know, I also have a bunch of stuff that I don't know how to use yet because I got the Guar Whisperer mod as well by Merlord, who made the Ashfall mod. In fact, I have a bunch of his stuff that he put recommended on his page because it all looked fun, you know. I'll have to put a mod list in the description. Let's see. There's the basket I sold. I pictured myself at first just getting a covered bedroll, just because then, you know, you get a tent and a bedroll in one. It's compact. Maybe if I do, you know, a fur trader character, that was originally going to be my plan. But then I thought, nah, you know, Bugbag, probably be a legionnaire. He'll fit right in Nisus, although he doesn't know that yet. Can I buy a little trinket or something? You know. Alright. And then let's see, here I go charging off to find a guy who I don't know exists yet. You know, so I could play it off as, you know, just running off to explore. But, you know, I can't really justify that. I've got to find out, oh, what about the tax collector? Not that I would expect to find him, you know, over there anyway. You know, in character. So I guess I didn't really have to go back and ask. But yeah, it's gonna be, I say that a lot of the stuff, it was late and I was tired. Oh, for some reason I went back to Aura. Oh yeah, Fireball. And I'm gonna forget to buy some stuff later too, like Frostbite and Spark. If you can get Spark, really, I highly recommend it. Because Dark Elves resist fire. They don't resist Spark as well, and if you need the range, get Spark. But right now all I can afford is Fireball, and all I have in mind are the Mud Crabs. So, classic spell, Fireball, get it, good. And now I'm down to 6 gold, and that's going to be a running theme. How broke is Bugbag? At this given time, 6 gold left. So here I go, hopping off to fight our first mud crab of this run. Let's go. Let's get a manual save in, and you'll notice tester guy. That was to test the Ashfall mod. So the first time you use it, you know, it'll tell you, which settings do you want to use in this, that, and the third. So I thought I'd have to do that again for Bugbag, but it's not by character. It's just the first time you run with the mod, it asks you, and then you can configure everything later. Yeah, there we go. Couple fireballs and he's done. Get some crab meat for my trouble. And miss. I am not near as adept at aiming spells as I am at arrows. So, it's gonna be pretty entertaining for a little while. Probably for a long while. To watch Bugbag miss his shots. Kinda wonder if the cats playing about will get picked up on the mic. We'll find that out soon enough in post. Probably edit it, but I don't feel like it. Again, going for a slow TV feel. You know, just improvise everything. You know, just show it all. What do you call it? What's the saying? Drat, it'll come to me. Oh yes. This is where I remember. Ask little advice. Yeah, smuggler cave. Rumors. There we go. So I still couldn't justify to myself, just running out there and looking. I might as well ask about the altar.
My patience is limited.
Bugbag is a mirror as well, Orsimer. Oh yes, and that's another neat thing about Ashfall, so I'm a little weak to shock, being damp, but resistant to fire, as you may notice well. So if you know you're coming up against flame Atronachs, I guess jump in the water first. It's usually water near data ruins. It's crazy how many of those were built near the coast. Though there are some inland, come to think of it. Guess we'll see what we find. I mean, Vvardenfell is an island, a lot of it's coast. And the Dwemer ruins are a bit more inland, aren't they? Here we have some mushrooms. Might as well just grab some, if they're not good for alchemy. They might at least come in handy for a snack later. But they do need to be cooked. And off we go. Those coda flowers. See those little kind of fire looking things? Those are very, very handy. They have the levitate effect. And they just look very pretty. They're also worth a lot more than anything else, you can find as plants in this region. They're worth 20-something gold a piece. Yeah. 23 gold. They really are a sight to behold. The nearby ample buds. About two, I think they're water walking. So does violet coperness. Oh yeah, and there's the bit of coast mosquitoes. That's one of the official plugins. Got most of those. I probably should activate the master index plugin, because then it justifies, finding out where the indexes are, knowing them. Because they tell you it makes it easier to get some of the indexes, for reasons that I won't spoil quite yet. So it could come in handy, especially because then you're carrying 2 pounds of index instead of 20 pounds of index. But somehow I can't justify it to myself quite yet. And I don't have any of the armor plugins either. I don't plan on using gold armor or, stuff like that. Just don't like the look of them. But I have all the other official ones installed. Let's see what else. Time to jump and grab some mushrooms. Jump around and get some mushrooms. And this gets you wet as well. I didn't realize that, but it's nice that they put that attention to detail in there. Now, that's very rewarding. Unfortunately, Ashfall doesn't work with OpenMW. So I guess no, Tamriel rebuilt in it for me. At least not at this stage, because without OpenMW I can't get the larger map to my knowledge. I've heard that can be done with Code Patch. I'll just have to look into it later. Because I like what I've seen from Tamriel Reupload. I really do. But I wonder, I would like to see, they don't seem to handle the fact that Vvardenfell is closed off for the Blight, but, how do you usually get to the mainland anyway? You can just easily, water walk or, do a huge jump spell there, and then how's anyone to know that you're from Vvardenfell? Everyone on Vvardenfell thinks or rather knows you're not from Vvardenfell. So, you could easily just hop over to the mainland and blend right in. Unless you have the Blight, and then people, recognize that at a glance. But then they don't jail you or nothing. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do. I could test that out. Right now I'm going to test out the wood axe. And yes, as you see, I even have Firemoth installed. I've never done it. A lot of people seem to use the area effect arrows just to make that a lot easier. And, yeah, again, no marksman. Gonna have to use a lot of spells or something. I'll figure it out. Bugbag has his ways of getting things done. He's got a lot of firewood after all. Because I don't know at this juncture how much firewood I'm actually gonna need. Turns out one piece of wood will get you 1 or 2 hours of burning time. So that's very handy indeed. And if you get 3 pieces of firewood, you can build supports for a kettle and whatnot. Very handy. It's a very handy, good old water walking. Yes. Helps to avoid enemies. Oh yeah, need to get out of sneak mode. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. I really am. But yeah, there he goes. Off in the world. And, you know, you can conceivably piece together for yourself from the tax record alone who killed processes. You know, because Foreign Gilneth is the one with the most amount of unpaid taxes. Yeah, so I mean, obviously you can... That's the thing. You know, I don't believe I check on this playthrough, but I have on another playthrough, where I have Morrowind code patch and patch by Purists on my phone, in fact, on Open Microwave. I have a Bosmer assassin character there that I haven't taken too far. I'm a little wary. For whatever reason, just... You know, it's nice to be able to play for a little bit, you know, like play for 3 or 5 minutes, just get that much further along. But, you know, it's a Bosmer assassin on that install that I have. You know, so I'm going off into the Ashlands without a lot of magic. You know, level 1 I should probably tone that down, but I'm trying to find Shore Horsemouth. You know, who I hardly ever actually find on my playthroughs, just because I get so used to the fast travel. So now Bugbag going camping forces me to slow down. And also, shucks, the whole reason I brought up my Bosmer Assassin on Open Microwave is to say that, you know, if you go right to Foreign Gilneth and, you know, ask him about the murder of the tax collector, which would make sense given the fact that he's the one with the highest amount of unpaid tax as well, he doesn't have the topic. He doesn't have the topic until you hand the gold over. So, gone, I guess, for me, are the days of getting 700 gold for the quest, instead of, I guess it's just 2 or 5 now. Of course, I'm going to go for 5 and solve the murder. But, yeah. Let's try and reduce a little carry weight. Yeah, okay, 2 gold for the goblet. Got a lot more gold now. Gone from 6 to 8. Very convenient. And now I have 2 water left. Okay, so I'll have to wait and sell that goblet. Let's see. Yep, there's some stuff laid out actually very nicely. Not organized, but it's still nice to look at. Yeah. Oh, that city in the water. That's a quest I've never done before, if you can believe it. But with Bugbag with an orc, it would make a lot more sense to. Well, yes and no. Because out of character knowledge, it is Boethia's quest. Boethia is the one responsible, you know, in some way for cursing the orcs. And I know shucks, I'm even just... Yeah, okay, so there's the Legion. You know, Legion man. So I see a fellow Legionnaire. You know, even though I just helped out Fargoth, you know, I just said, okay, here's your ring, you know. I think, yeah, if he's collecting money, maybe it's above board, you know. And here I am, you know, just reading this. Whereas at the general sessions of the peace held for the district of House Lalu at the town of Balmora, on the so on, loyal servant of the Empire, etc., etc., Arl of the port of Sadanin aforesaid hath entered into recognizance with sureties before his majesty's magistrates of peace, etc., etc., common trade house or corner club wherein he now dwelleth in the port of Sadanin aforesaid for 3 full years, from henceforth next ensuing, or till such other time as shall be by us, or some of our fellow magistrates thereunto appointed, provided that if the said Arl does not from time to time, etc., etc., during the time first item, not suffer any stranger, unknown traveler, you know, without being themselves made known, not suffer any cards, tables, dice, bowls, etc., any neighbors' children, servants, or slaves to drink. So apparently it's illegal for slaves to drink here, or to drink during the hours of prayer, lesson, Emperor's festival days, or after 8 p.m., which, you know, yeah, you can buy booze after 8 p.m. in this game. Not harbor any rogues, vagabonds, tradeless men, nor other suspicious persons in or about his house. Well, I guess the guy asking for me to find Fargoth's money must be above board. Can't have any rogues here, after all. Not even any bawdry or criminal conversation, after all. So, things must be above board. Not suffer any looting, drumming, or dancing. Well, in or about his house on any lesson day, nor in time of divine service on any sacred festival or holy day. Well, that's all well and good. Shame the entertainers plugin is only for the one place, and it seems so very difficult to succeed at any of those tasks. But, that's me trying it out on another character with stats at 100 of everything. I do have an idea for a mod with that guy. The guy who tells you about Mentor's Ring. Because you can come back with Mentor's Ring and he doesn't seem to notice or care. It'd be pretty cool. The story idea is this, although I'd have to get better at the scripting. Is, you show him Mentor's Ring. And, if you come back with it, just to gloat a little. And he plucks it off your finger and teleports away. And then he uses the ring somehow to try, and set up a bandit cave and build his power and so forth. Say, wow, with this ring I will have all the power in the land or whatever. And, you try and stop him just to get the ring back that he stole from me. Thought that might be a cool little mod if I can ever throw that together someday. Or if one of you, if anyone listening wants to put that together, pick a cave, make a quest out of it, could be fun. And off we go to the lighthouse. I don't know if it's code patch or what, but I'm very pleased. I seem to be going, for someone with 30 speed, a lot faster than I ever would with 30 speed before. Unless I'm not as rested as I used to be because I've begun to run. So I've lost that buff, but it's just 4 to 5 fatigue. I wonder how it calculates that. Yeah, so she offers a little advice before I have to give her the sad news that not only is he missing, he was murdered. So of course Bugbag only wants to help. That's his goal here. So there we go, foreign gilman. Highest amount of unpaid taxes. Publicly arguing. Pretty suspicious. So we're gonna walk, because it very early, very early playthroughs didn't understand the importance of fatigue. So, gonna have to swap out the wood axe for the saber, enforce the law and the justice of the Emperor upon this murder, and, law and the justice of the Emperor, and watch myself. So I don't get beat to a pulp, as happened during very early playthroughs 19 years ago. Yeah. Shucks, for all the time I've spent in Satanine over the years, you think I know her name. Well, I know his very well. Sorry, that is no excuse for murder, and your punishment has been decided. One of the Emperor's lackeys, you say. Well,
There is no escape.
apparently shield. Whoop. Here I am in a bit of a panic trying to draw out my sword. He's actually surprisingly good pugilist. Yep. Oh yeah. There we go. I didn't even have to duck out and get more fatigue this time, like I have had to on some playthroughs. But yeah. Need the gold. Might as well take it all and dispose the body. Might as well just take all his stuff. I don't want any of his clothes. I don't, he's a murderer. I don't really want his stuff, but it is, I guess, a company house, and I could use the food. I could certainly use the food, so, and the gold from selling all this stuff. Oh, I should have kept, shucks. That's the fork and knife I should have kept. They weigh half as much as the metal ones. But the metal ones will probably hold better, you know, for a mess kit or whatever. Yeah. Spoilers, I sell the wooden spoon and knife, or fork and spoon, whatever they are. And I think this is where in real life... Oh, yep, yeah. You hear that little boop? That's my battery about to conk out. Campfire. Yep, this is the first campfire that we will probably use during the course of this run, and it's nice that they even tell you how rested you are before you're about to rest up. Did I get... Yep. I got the stuff from that sack. There we go. It's a very nice touch that they just added usable campfires in, you know, to homes, caves, wherever they were before. You know, rather than always making you build your own. Very nice touch. But off we go rather sullenly. Not even back to the, you know, where I should be. So Susius or Gala. The Census and Excise office. But to sell the dead guy's stuff before reporting back and doing my duty to the Empire. I don't even want his belt. I don't have a belt. I could use a belt. But nope, I don't want any of the clothes off that man's back. That Mer's back, excuse me. Yeah, sell the bowl, sell the bowl. Cup has some water in it. Sell... Oh, excuse me. Plate, spoon, so on, okay. Keep the fork and knife. Keep that plate. Pretend to be civilized, you know. Yeah, I can't even eke one more gold on this one. But I'm about to get some more as we make our way back to the Census and Excise office. Get a nice little boost acrobatics. It's going to translate into a nice little strength buff later on. And it should hopefully be easy to get our strength up to where it needs to. I think it's 45 strength as an orc male at the buff. Spell Sword, fittingly, you know, has buffs to willpower and endurance, which I think for a camping, you know, survival type character is rather appropriate. Although for custom classes, I do like to boost luck. Glad to see loyalty to the Empire. As I walk back into the room I've stolen everything from. But yes, it is good to be counted as loyal to the Empire again. Maybe I shouldn't steal so much, but dang it, I didn't know they were going to give me 87 gold. Just trying to live, pal. Just trying to live. Aren't we all? Yeah, it's the funny thing about taking the apprentice sign. As you'll notice, I'm not used to the red in the lower right being anything other than stunted magic. I'm used to Outronaut characters. But I figure apprentice, you know, it would be an interesting rebalance rather than rely on spell absorption. You know, it winds up swinging the orc's natural 25% resist magicka to a 25% weakness. And I'd be very interested to see if they've changed it in the code patch or what, or patch for Purists or what. But playing a Breton with 50% resist magicka, I noted that common diseases had only half the effect with 50% resist magicka. In the vanilla game, it appears that common diseases act like magicka effects, you know, in terms of how much they bring you down. So that's a relief. You know, it's not a relief that I don't have the code patch thing that I have now, that I'm very happy to have now, you know, where, let's say I'm wearing Mentor's Ring. Boost 10 willpower, boost 10 intelligence. That'll very much come in handy with only 30 intelligence to start. But at least I have 75 magicka to play with. Still have some left over after baking mud crabs at a distance. Let's see. That'd make a good episode title, Baking Mud Crabs at a Distance. I had one picked out and I forget what it was. Anyway, but that'll be it. Oh yes, Vodunius Nucius. Yes, so he's off to help the lighthouse lady. He's even going to help Vodunius Nucius, because that's just the kind of guy Bugbag is. You know, he's done his time in prison. He's happy to get a chance in a province very new to him. Turn over a new leaf. You know, he's still about to steal some more stuff, actually, you know. Stuff that if you know it's there, it's very handy that it's there. It's very handy that it's there. This gold can be a little tough to get at. Without sneaking, you know. Then I'm gonna have to watch myself. Don't want to get stuck in sneak mode, but I'm gonna have to do a bit of jumping soon. Yep, there we go. Okay. Check, yep. Now I'm back to running normally. Because I'm gonna try and get the lovely iron shard axe. I'm gonna need something to take down ghosts in a bit. So again, here we go, out of character knowledge, guiding in character actions, but, you know, work smarter, not harder, I guess. Because I'm not going to use the console. You know, I do feel a bit weird about that. I did try, you know, like the first time I hardly ever used the console was one time with that Breton character, Jacques Montjock. You know, running MGE during a playthrough, I was starting to get duplication of certain NPCs, and so if I show you that character, you'll start to see like 2 or 4 or more of certain characters, I guess based on where, you know, he's loading or where he's saved when I run MGE, or I don't know what happens. I don't know how to work Rymash, and I don't much care to fix it because I've got Bugbag now on a different install, and I don't seem to have the duplication issues, you know, by running MGE first on this install, you know, that I do with Jacques, who's on my Steam install. Which is just MGE and code patch for Purists, maybe. Yeah, I think I do have it there. I don't know if I have code patch. No, I don't have code patch and patch for Purists on my Steam install. Just a bunch of the official plugins and MGE. And up we go to help out a new friend and sadly work over an old one. Probably I shouldn't have taken Firemoth's ring. Spoilers, I'm going to. It will come in handy. But if I ever make my way back to Saint Denis, I'll have to leave it in the tree stump again for him, because it is an heirloom of his. Or maybe not, maybe he's lying about that. You know, he does seem like a sneaky little guy, Fargoth. Iron Shard Axe. Frost damage 0 to 7 points. Curious range, 0 to 7. And it is 0 to 7 with code patch allowing for maximum damage. Shucks. Kind of sorry for going on and on about all this. Most of you probably know what the code patch do by now. I'm very pleased with patch for Purists, though. That's a fork off of the Morrowind patch project. You know, I kind of balked. That's why I didn't do Morrowind patch project for Jacques, because I started to notice they were adding more and more quote-unquote fixes and rebalances for things that I don't want rebalanced. Like, take for example the price of Hackalo. It should be 30. A, for demand. You know, because it is, I didn't know this until this year, Dunmer tobacco. You know, which in large parts of this country is rather expensive. But B, you know, the majority of the people live in this corner of Vvardenfell. Hackalo grows clear the other side of the island. You know, and yeah, there's a fair amount of it, but not a lot of it up in the Grey Zones. So, you know, it should cost more. Maybe there's some No, I'm thinking of cork bulb. There's cork bulb along the Ordai River. Yeah. Love how they have the little differences in vegetation, you know. And this... Oh, peckish. Yeah, I didn't realize it reduced your maximum health as you get hungry. That's pretty intense. You know, some of the debuffs, you know, they're small, but they add up. So I do kind of have to watch that. One of the things that always flips me out with Fargoth is how they have him scripted to walk. You know, because I didn't used to always go up to the lighthouse. You can just kind of trail him as he walks through town. So then his actions don't make any sense unless you're walking up here. You know, so they kind of have him walk about a little bit. Yeah. And they have him walk towards the lighthouse. And they kind of make you wonder, okay, have I been had? Have I been found out? You know, is he really going that way? But no, then he doubles back a very sharp turn, as we're about to see, to a moment, to that lovely tree stump. That seems to be a thing in the Bitter Coast. You know, nice word from the wise. Check out tree stumps. Also a bit in soul stump too. You know, one thing that I originally wanted to do before I got on the idea of a fur trader, or now Bugbag, I'm going to be doing multiple Let's Plays, in fact. I'll get on ways with Bugbag, but, you know, he's going to be in the Legion. He's going to be in the Imperial Cult, you know, very, very pro-Empire. I haven't decided if I want to enter him into House Lalu. You know, because it would make sense for him if he joins a great house at all. But he doesn't need a great house. He has his tent. It's a great enough house for him. You know, jokes aside, yeah. It just, I think it just would make the most sense for him to be in the Legion. And to do a bit of the main quest, you know, why not? Because, again, he is very pro-Empire, so he would actually be quite honored by stuff that happens in the main quest. As we will see in several episodes. Why I said that. Most of you know why I said that. So let's just hop over. You know, I think I can kind of justify bunny hopping in character if the character is especially happy. Maybe he's just skipping. He or she are just skipping. But yeah, let's try and be sneaky. Try and fail at being sneaky. Sneak is 5. Doesn't have boots yet, but who are you kidding, guy? Just, yeah. And not only is it a hollow tree stump, but it's a tree that you can use to get firewood. Wet, perhaps lightly moldy or moss-covered, lichen-covered firewood. Well, not lichen-covered, because there's no black, red, or green lichen on it, guys. So just mossy firewood. Let's see. So up we go. I know from an out-of-character perspective it doesn't make sense to hand this back, but you do make a friend. And he is very happy to tell Bugbag about joining the Imperial Legion again. He's over the moon, pleased as punch. To have somebody tell him, okay, you know, I just have to get to this place called Nisus. Yeah, you know, why make a hot meal when I can make one for myself? To get to this place called Nisus, sign up and be back in the Legion again. I don't know why that is separate from the other 5, but away we go. Oh, excuse me. Shucks, it's not even that late now. Yeah, so now comes the moment of truth. Flasks, bottles. What is the most cost-effective thing? I already told you it's going to be flasks. Played this, shucks, weeks ago. I played this almost a month ago, this episode. Yeah, sell the Mazte. Do I want to sell the Flynn? Flynn has no downsides, which is why I love Flynn. But it's a bit too rich for my bloodline now. Even though I'm, you know, have 588 gold. Do I sell the shard axe? No, I need that. Sell the Flynn. Yeah, why not? A rug? Rug bag? Rug for the Bugbag? Yeah, I'll have to try out different designs, see which one I like. But a tent. Do I have a tent yet? I don't believe I do. And armorers, hammers. I'm used to carrying them around, but another mod I have, another one of Murlord's fantastic mods, is realistic repair. And so that means, and I'm going to keep forgetting this for a little while, that I need to get myself to an anvil or a forge. I can't repair in the field that easily. And that's going to come back to bite me in a little bit. So yes, it's a nice sort of immersive thing. There is something I didn't agree with at first. Did I buy a kettle? Yeah, light the fire. Attach the cooking pot. Need a metal bucket. Right. But what can I do? I do have a grill. Yeah, get some nice grilled quama eggs. Can you grill an egg in real life? Oh, whoop, dropped it. Okay, pluck it out. Got tough, worky fingers there. Nice wheat grilled mushrooms. Dinner on my first night here. Happy days. I forget if it was patched for Purists, but they cut the weight of quama eggs in half. You know, like those are the types of fixables I like, where it's like quality of life. You know, granted it doesn't mean it's that large, it makes it what? And I guess now that they also decreased the small quama egg to 0.4, it's like, what, 2.5 times the size of the small one, as opposed to 4 times the size in terms of weight. And as you see, I took a screenshot there. First cooked thing turns a little red, just because then, you know, it's heated. It's turned a nice golden brown, as you'll notice on many cooking instructions. The egg is almost there. It seems to take a long time. I wonder if it's proportional to the nutrition or what. But as we're about to find out, yeah, you just have to cook one thing. But where's the fun in that? You know, why just have some egg when you can have an egg with mushrooms? Just like a nice, you know, quama mushroom omelet. You know, have some vegetables, have some herbs. You know, it doesn't have to be just about survival. Gotta stay hydrated. And, yeah. Do I want to keep the fire going all night? Nah. Wait. Maybe if I had to stay warm, but... Oh, yeah, there we go. So I had some water. Let's see. See if I can't empty out some stuff. Come on. Do I... Yeah. Pretty well hydrated, so... Yeah. Just turn in for the night. It's already 11 p.m. So how long do I want to rest? Let's call it till 5 a.m. Yeah, I don't have all my magicka back. I'm not used to having to sleep, or rather, being able to sleep to regain magicka. So it's a lot slower than I realized. And yep, here we go. Yeah, use an anvil or forge. You know, so I don't have to carry stuff as much anymore. But man, it's probably going to get pretty dicey as time goes on. Not being able to repair stuff in the field anymore. Like maybe if there was an anvil you could look around, but you know, if you had a wagon or something. Might tame a pet Guar one of these days, once I figure out how that mod works. Guar Whisperer, another Morrowind mod. Can't say if I recommend it yet because I don't know how it works yet. Doesn't seem... Maybe the documentation is there because Ashfall is very well documented. But I'll have to keep my eyes out for Guar Whisperer. Because I know some of the items like Ball comes up pretty early in Arl's and other people's inventory. So yeah, you can play fetch, you can do this, that, have them carry your stuff, which is a huge draw, of course. Yeah, and just have some more fun, immersive, you know, Guar goodness. Some reason I remember it being darker at 5 or 6 a.m. than it actually turned out being on this video capture. Oh yes, I almost forgot to help Vodunius Nucius there. Because I don't actually plan on taking Silt Striders if I can help it. Or even the, what do you call it? Even the guild guides and stuff. Boats. No, might as well just go myself. Maybe boats if it's a ridiculous journey. But, you know, there's still fun in ridiculousness. What a wet but happy days. That little morning thunderstorm has broken off. Starting to get a little thirsty. Maybe I should have made that tea last night. But let's see if we can't empty out this bottle. Not quite. Oh, yeah. And I guess if I was in a pinch, I could conceivably douse myself. It's a cold morning after that rainstorm. Very cold. Should probably head in. Somewhere. Risk getting a bit of a chill. See if I can't clear out that smuggler cave. You know, I'm very confident in my character skills as an orc spell sword. You know, things tend to complement each other pretty well, certainly for RP value here. You know, as an ex-wannabe legionnaire, bounced out and bounced halfway across the globe or halfway across the continent for just sleeping on the job once. Jeez. Guess that makes my yawning appropriate. But, drat. Can I do? I don't have a metal bucket. I don't even have a backpack yet, do I? That would come in handy. Look at my carry weight. Because I'm gonna want to buy a tent. Come on. Now I'm gonna want to buy one now, or maybe after I loot the smuggler's cave. Nope, here I go buying a tent. Okay. Tent covers. We'll see how the tent looks itself before I go spending money on and spending carry weight on a cover. Please tell me I sell the hammer. Come on. Trinkets, yeah. You know, the wind chimes seem pretty fun. The dream catcher looks very useful, but right now, yeah, just in case I run low on fatigue, even though I'm not going to be doing a lot of running. Get the stoneflower bouquet. You know, blue flowers. Startlingly beautiful. You know, more so in real life, but even then I just like stoneflowers too. And then I gotta ask myself, do I keep it or not? I have a bedroll, I have a tent. Precious firewood. Never have enough firewood. Come on. Already got 17 pounds, but give me all that firewood. Give me all. Yeah. I thought I've got to be careful with my carrying weight. Because I'm going to need a lot more gear, a lot more food, and so on than I am accustomed to. So it's going to make for a very interesting playthrough even after I get the hang of this stuff. Dreamcatcher. Can I afford it? Do I do that instead of the stoneflower bouquet? Come on. What on earth did I do? I mean, I have a general idea of how it all turns out. Do I even want that tent now? Yeah. I guess that's a fair price for it all. Come on. Oh, I didn't sell back the hammer. I still have this impulse to carry hammers with me, even though I know they're useless. I ought to know they're useless. Because I got the little message, what, like 10, 15 minutes ago. Time to fill up those flasks. Oh, excuse me. I think I was still on the fence about, you know, whether or not bottles would be useful yet. I see it fills up one at a time. Okay, so 2 gold at a clip. Fill at a clip, come on. Might as well just wait until they're empty. If I'm paying 2 gold, might as well get the money's worth. When I had 6 yesterday. Shucks. And how much today? Well, chili. Yeah, it's draining my speed down to 24, but I'm still satisfied with movement speed. Maybe I'm a little too accustomed to this, but yeah. It's a fine start, I'd say, to this character. Fine start to the LP. Quick save, just in case. And I think it's time to call it a night. Thank you. Thank you for watching.